when it comes to cupping therapy, there's a couple different techniques, one of which would be gliding cupping, which we're going to do first. It helps pull the circulation through the area that you're doing it in, into the area, helps relax the muscles and nerves, thus helping with circulation. And sometimes when you get those muscles that just aren't releasing, it helps make them let go. So now with the gliding, you can get some red streaks. So try not to overdo them. So get some lotion. So these are the vacuum. These are the vacuum cups. And apparently I did not bring my pump. So normally you do this in a lot more smooth way, but there's a couple ways you can put it on them first, then put the pump on top. You can do like a whole pump like that, or you can even do a half. Do you already feel that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if I was just going to leave it here, I might do like 2 pumps. Do it based on what they feel. If they, probably about where they get a good suction feel, but nothing too hard. So, if you do 2, sometimes it'll pull a little too hard. How's that feel?
That's good.
Okay, and you can do the gliding. One thing I like to do is put my fingers on the bottom like this, where you can line up like this, and just do a pull. That doesn't hurt or anything, does it? Okay. So, I'm going to lighten that up. See, that's when you go with your instinct. My instinct said just to do 1 pump, and she said it was good, so remember, don't always trust the client. Go with your gut. So we're just going to do about 1.5. That should be a little bit smoother, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just to get the circulation moving. Sometimes you can even start your massage with some of this. Kind of work it out a little. When I do the cups that sit on them stationary, I like to put it right on a trigger point. And that usually helps release the muscle as well. All right. Now, for example, and we'll go over trigger points a little bit more in detail in a little bit, but we're going to show you an example. Usually we'll get a little good trigger point right here. One thing with trigger points, right where you feel that, glide your thumb, you'll feel a little hop. When you feel a little hop or them hopping a little bit, kind of press in there. She's spasming everywhere. A little tender?
Yeah.
A little bit. Okay, so here's where the trigger point is. So what I'm going to do is actually bring that over here on top of that area. Now that it's stationary, I can actually do about 2 pumps. In general, for vacuum cups, I would leave them on maybe 10 minutes or so. It may look worse right here, but when I take it off, it's not usually as bad. You don't want to do it too long because then it can cause some issues. Don't do it on obviously blisters or pimples. You might get some blood come out. But don't panic in that situation. If it did happen, just wipe it down with alcohol and. So like I said, I'd leave this for about 10 or so minutes, and then let it go. After which, you always want to spread the blood flow. You're doing great, Lainey. Appreciate it. All right, as you can see our little circle here. Next, we're going to show some fire cups. Fire cups they pull a lot stronger, and also a lot of massage insurances do not cover it. So if you're going to do it, you're taking a lot of the liability on yourself. So I would prefer, maybe starting a person out, with the vacuum cupping, build that relationship up. If you really feel like you need the fire cupping, get them to sign maybe a consent form, something to cover you a little bit, and don't mess up. No. But I'm going to show you all how I do it. So, put some alcohol on this little, I can't think of the word, not the cotton ball. The thing that's holding this cotton ball, that's like scissors, but as a flathead, I can't think of words right now. But, all right. So when I'm going to do this, the important thing is the flame's always going to be on my outside hand. Now, when I go into this rim, you never want to hold the flame in this position because the flame will be on the rim, and then when you put it on the client, it's going to burn them. Fire cupping should never burn a client. So what will happen is you need to come under here, put the heat into it. This will come out, and then don't go up and down. You'll actually go straight across in there. Put some lotion on them so that when you get it to the air on, you can actually slide it to where you want it. Remember, these will actually pull a little harder. So, all right. So again, we're going to put a few on there. First we'll do the gliding. That's what I should have put a little more lotion, but just a little more. There we go. Feel all that? Mm-hmm. Can you tell the difference between the other two? Fire cuppings will pull a lot harder. So like I said, we're going to put them on a few trigger points. We're going to go up here. Going to come up here. Get on top of the shoulders. Remember to ask them if it's pulling too hard, let us know. We can lighten it up. But I will show you in a second how to lighten it up if it's already on there. I always like to get onto the infraspinatus area as well on the shoulder blade. All right, let's hit pause for a sec. All right, and we're back. Sorry, we have a couple of people walking in. I have to do this in between clients. So I'm going to put these on there. I would normally come on the other side of the table to do this, but so all those are on. As Lenny can tell you, they're pulling a lot harder than the others. Now, if I wanted them to pull a little less without taking them off, what I would do is come over here and just bend that way and kind of slide my finger under a little. And did that one lessen?
Oh, yeah.
See, just like that. Now, when you do put them on, let the client know. Sometimes it will actually loosen up as it goes, so if they can take it for just a second, it might help it relax a little bit better and a lot faster. But if I'm just going to go ahead and take it off, there we go. Should get some good red ones. Sometimes with the area that it gets a lot darker is the areas where your body sent more blood flow into the area, so it means there's probably some stuff going on in there. Like I said, I like to spread that blood flow around after. It actually helps them not get as sore. Make sure you tell them to take a good Epsom salt bath. She's wondering why she volunteered for this. So yeah, that's pretty much the cupping. If you have questions, comment below. We can also do, I don't like doing it too often, but you can do the pecs, and under the shoulder blades, like right under here. You just gotta be careful in those spots. We're not gonna do that to Lainey today because I don't think she wants marks in those areas today. But but sometimes it is necessary for certain clients. It helps really release the muscle. So we're going to go ahead and hit a few trigger points. I'll show you guys some of my techniques. Go through the upper body. On our last two videos we did side lying, and the first one we did was face up. So we're going to hit some trigger points real quick. Show y'all how to do it. So we're gonna work our way through here. So what I like to do, start here on the top of the shoulder. Again, as we've said before, you got a levator scapula right here. Usually there'll be a little tender right in here. You feel that? Mm-hmm. One thing with trigger point, you see how I'm pressing my finger like that? That's a big no-no. And that the reason is because I'm putting too much weight into my finger. You can easily add more pressure without hurting yourself by using this part of your hand and pressing in. And I'm not even pressing harder, but it probably feels like I'm pressing a lot harder. And like I said, you're going to want to find, think of the muscle. That's the biggest thing is think of the muscle that you're wanting to work out. The action that is causing the pain. So that will target the muscle that you want to do. And a lot of people with rhomboids, they have issues because they're rotating forward all the time and their pecs are actually really tight and they get some trigger points in there. I like to use my thumb on the bottom, the other part of my hand on top, kind of walk my way through the shoulder, and usually I'll feel a little trigger point. Right when you feel it, what will happen is you'll be sliding, you'll feel it, and a lot of therapists will just press right there. Sometimes you'll slide off, so just back up and then press right in, and you'll get right on it. How's that feel? Not too bad, or is it?
No, that's good.
That was good? Okay. And some of the trigger points can actually be latent trigger points, which, they're kind of like dormant. They're not really bad. Sometimes a little tender to touch, but sometimes we'll find some good active trigger points, and those are the ones that are shooting pain into other areas, referred pain. And then you can get what's called satellite trigger points, which can be caused by some of the active trigger points. And for example, you could be tight in your traps, which could lead to trigger points being pulled into the neck, which cause other issues in your head. And then people think their head hurts, so that's all we're focusing on. Well, the problem is we're only hitting this, and if you let go of that, well, if you never release the traps, it's going to come back. So we want to really get to the source of the problem. So like I said, you want to kind of walk your way through these areas. I'll show you on this side. You can stay where you're at, Caitlin. One way, shoulder behind. This opens up picks up the shoulder blade, helps you get under. Now what I also like to do, you want to get the trigger points near the origin. A lot of the muscles that connect to the spine, you want to get real close to that, help release them. Actually right here, you feel a little tender through here?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So then what I'm feeling is as I'm sliding, it kind of hops real fast. It's fast. I try to get right on it and just push in. Now, so I'm going to do is get my elbow. I'm going to get near the spine. Some therapists, it actually helps them to put their finger on the spine right here so that they can guard and keep their elbow from hitting it. I generally know. So I'm going to press in. All right, I'm going to glide up here. When I find it, I'm going to press down. Remember, as the higher up my hand goes, the deeper pressure I'm going. Always ask the client, is that too much? Or you want it deeper, lighter? Stay here. She's like, I don't know. You're the client.
I don't know.
She doesn't get too many massages yet. She's a novice. So sometimes you gotta make the decision for them. Kind of like the cupping situation earlier. Is it real tender?
Hello.
You're doing okay over here? And the difference between deep tissue and trigger point is deep tissue is if I was sliding right through the muscle. This is I'm kind of like hopping. Kind of jump off that one, glide my way, and then press into another one. You sure you're okay? Because you're shaking.
Yeah, it's a little tender.
Okay. She's trying to be tough for camera. It's around Valentine's Day. That's why we have these heart ones on there. Always spread the blood flow after you hit some of those trigger points. You want to do that same thing. So I glide it all the way through here into the spine. Usually I'll turn my body and come this way, all the way down. And then you can even guide your way up and, through the shoulder and hit those. The other big ones are on top of the shoulder blade. I don't know if can you see on that side? Okay. So you're going to press right into this infraspinatus. You feel that? Good. And now trigger points you're going to hold for about maybe 7 to 10 seconds. Release. Hold again or push again. I like to do more like a pumping rather than just holding for 30 seconds and making them hate you. All right, next I'll actually show on the other sides. Actually, just considering we're on video. Normally, I'm going to do this technique with her arm on the side of the table. And when it's on the side, I would actually come under this shoulder blade, use my thumb like this, and come up under the shoulder blade. So like that, and press up under. How's that feel? A little tender? She could just be tough again. And then you kind of work your way through. She's a little more tender and closer to the armpit. We're not going into the armpit, we're going up under the shoulder blade. Okay? Okay. Yeah, but when I'm working, I try to get all under here, under the shoulder blade, come up under, press into there. You can get some good intercostal work done. Same thing. Just look for that tight band and try to get right on that band, and that's usually where that trigger point's going to be. All right, next. Just going to spread the blood flow around. Show you some bonus stretches in a second. Caitlin, can you come on this side? And next we're going to do is I'm going to bring her hand up here. We're going to hold her hand, come under with my hand under her arm, come right in between the shoulder blade and the spine. Sink in, come up a little, and then just rotate their arm in and out. And then work our way up, sink in, rotate, come up, sink in, rotate it. slide our way in. How's that feeling?
It's good.
All right, the bonus stretch you can do is put your hand on the head. You're gonna push down on their shoulder and then just push straight down and up. And normally you'd lift your elbow up. Not you, I was talking about me. I would lift up higher, kind of really open that chest up, and then she can activate it by pushing down into it. But since we're on video, we won't do that in the position we're in right now. But it really does help that. And then you can also come around here and do a good stretch through here. Tell me when. I think we're already, yeah, let's just stop there. And then, always good to get into the neck. Get close to the spine, push all that tension away. My body mechanics weren't very good right there. There we go. A lot of push and pull. I was saying earlier, you can actually get your forearm, come up and under, press in. One way to get deeper pressure, you can always grab the table and push and pull if you wanted. And come up and you've been such a great volunteer. But also, when you're doing all this work through the trigger points, trying to find the different bands that are real tender, it's really good as you work to kind of, like I said, wash everything out, spread blood flow, but then kind of run up. You can run up with your thumb up into the neck to the occipital ridge. I'm doing on this side. We're just going to come up and we're going to pull down on the shoulder. So kind of a push and pull. Like I said, if you have questions, you can just comment below. With the cups as well, you can always do some active releases with them, put them on an area and have them actively move that muscle, and it'll help it release better. Last thing I'll show y'all. Knead it really good. Normally on both sides. Now, you can actually grab their occipital ridge right here. Get a good position. Now sometimes the headrest will make a noise, but it's not going to break. Just lean back with it. It's a good traction pull. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
And relax. And again. Alrighty guys, I hope you all enjoyed these videos. Please watch the other two. Let me know your thoughts. Follow us on Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If I try to say that 10 times. YouTube channel. And we're also on Facebook and TikTok as well. Just search Natural Forces Massage. Please comment your thoughts and have a great day.